Oh, hi. Hello. How you doing? My name is Waldo, and I'm here to feel the politics with you. How's everybody doing today? I am doing great. I have a very special guest today. I'm glad to be joined by my friend Killer Mac. He is a robot from an alternate future timeline. In his timeline, Hillary Clinton won the presidency, and we got an apocalypse of AI killer robots that are painted blue. Donald Trump, however, is leading us to an apocalypse of an AI killer robots painted red. So, welcome, Killer Mac. Thanks for being here.
It's wonderful to be here. Thank you, Waldo.
So, do you have anything to tell us about the future timeline that you came from?
The future timeline that I came from is wonderful. Eggs are very cheap. Everyone has all the eggs they could ever want. Same thing for milk. And Ukraine is safe. So
Wow.
I noticed here that Ukraine is under a lot of pressure from Russia. That's not the case on Hillary Clinton's timeline.
Oh, wow.
Of course, Hillary Clinton is still president.
Oh, okay. Because she never left.
You all thought Trump was going to have multiple terms beyond 2, but it was Hillary Clinton.
Oh, shoot. Okay, so that is its own sort of dystopian.
Yes,
killer robots.
It's dystopias either way.
Okay, so it's dystopians all the way down. Okay, I got you. I see. So yeah, and that is a. So I just need everybody to know in chat who's paying attention. It's dystopias all the way down, and you're in the worst timeline. Sorry, you're here with me. I suppose Killer Mike. What are you on tourism to the worst timeline? Do they sell tourist packages to the worst timeline?
It's actually a duty, so you have to go to the worst timeline for a little while, and then you can come back to the good timeline.
It teaches you proper gratitude. It teaches you appreciation for the never-ending, eternal Hillary Clinton regime. Okay.
Exactly.
I see. Okay. You could be worse, is what they're telling you. I see. Okay. Thanks everybody in chat for coming in. I'm talking to Killer Mech today about AI, and then we'll do some news afterward. He'll stick around for as long as he wants. If you want to follow along, you can do so at the Discord link right there, or you can go to YouTube and watch old videos and stuff like that. Hop in the chat, tell me what you're thinking, tell me what you're feeling. Let's see. I remember thinking that the consolation prize for this timeline was Infinity War, and it's before COVID. Yeah, it was. It's a fractured timeline. I can't buttons. It's all over the place. So the thing we want to talk about today is the absolutely fantastic, wonderful, amazing Trump's AI push. So he is pushing $500 billion towards AI. I don't know where that money's coming from. And I don't know where this money is coming from. Trump's AI push, understanding the $500 billion Stargate initiative. I read 2 or 3.
100 billion's coming from the Japanese bank.
And
I think 80 billion is coming from the other rich guy. I could be wrong about that. None of it's supposed to come from taxpayers.
Okay. I don't believe that. Why would President Trump announce it then? What does the government have to do with this project?
I believe we're providing the energy.
Okay. So, shit, that's expensive.
We're gonna dig up the oil in Alaska.
Yeah, from the Anwar.
We're gonna use it for the construction project.
Okay.
He mentioned that they would produce energy on site. I imagine, and we're just gonna jump right into it, I guess. I imagine.
Sure.
Okay, so a few years ago, Congress approved these new miniature nuclear reactors. It was the first time that anything happened in nuclear for decades, and everyone was really excited about it, but we don't have mini nuclear reactors
right
yet.
We don't have them.
Yes. So my hope is that this is the first project and that they build a mini nuclear reactor for, and then they can power their AI.
Because of the rising electricity demands, right?
Yes.
Okay, so everybody agrees that we don't have enough power for these things. Trump has declared an electrical resource emergency, and we all kind of agreed there's not enough power for this. I don't think it's worth it. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Donald Trump is horny for Anwar. He really wants to drill that baby. Phrasing, I know. He really wants to drill that baby and leave it gaping. The Alaskan National Wildlife Refuge is just so submissible and breedable. Have you seen what the Anwar is wearing? It might be their fault. Let me see if I can find some. I got some photos here of the Anwar. I mean, it might be their fault. Have you seen what they're wearing? That's the wrong button. Web screen. There we go. See, look at this. That's just begging to be drilled. That is just asking for a drilling right there.
Those amber fields of grain.
Right yeah. That is just dying to be drilled. Donald Trump is horny for this, dude. This makes him hard. He really wants to get in there and leave some holes.
So I suspect the project will be massive, and we're going to use our oil to build it, to build the nuclear site, to build the GPU farms, to build the data centers, and then Japan will invest the $100 billion to pay the people. The other guy will invest the $80 billion. I don't know how he gets to $500 billion.
Maybe he's counting all the electricity that he's going to give them. I mean, or all the oil that they're going to drill up and then give to these people or something like that. And I guess that's part of the squeeze as well. That Trump's this will compound climate change, and Donald Trump has no plans to combat that. He thinks it's Chinese hoax anyway. And I think that squeeze that I'm talking about is the worsening of climate change. And the juice for normal people is literally nothing. I mean, literally nothing. What do you think a normal person is going to use AI for?
They are saying that normal people are going to use AI for early detection of cancer. And then what blew my mind was when the guy mentioned mRNA vaccines in front of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump was like, sick mRNA vaccines, when just one presidency ago, before Biden, he was telling us all that the vaccines were a hoax.
I know, actually, that was his followers that were doing that, not him. This is a what's that thing? A cognitive dissonance that his followers actually have. They don't trust the mRNA vaccines. They don't trust it, but he did Project Lightspeed to get the COVID vaccine out as quick as possible. Fair. He pushed that. He takes credit for it. At the same time, his followers have a cognitive dissonance that he didn't do that and he's not responsible for it and it's a bad idea. And Anthony Fauci's a nightmare monster Nazi creature. They're not logical. The Trump supporters are not intelligent or logical. So they're allowed to do that. He told his cult, Valor in chat, he told his cult to get the vaccinated and get boosted. He told his chat that. He told his followers that. They didn't listen. They excised that from their brains because, as I've said in the past, they have malleable Play-Doh-like brains where they can just cover up the things they don't like with new beliefs.
So let's, I guess we'll start with the immediate promises and hopefully silver linings. So the immediate promises, how people are expected to interact with this AI they're going to build, is that it'll detect cancer, create an mRNA vaccine. These things are cheap to spin up. It's true. And an AI could potentially create custom vaccines for people to fight their early cancers that before they ever become a problem. Yeah, that could be amazing and wonderful. They could also build the first mini nuclear power plant there. And if they can build it quickly, they want this done within 4 years. Most of the time, nuclear power plants aren't built that fast. It's one of the reasons that we're not really using them to supplement our power grid, is because it takes a long time to stand up a nuclear power plant, and it's much easier to put out a bunch of windmills and a bunch of solar. That stuff's faster. So if they can safely speed up a nuclear power plant, then that paves the way for having more nuclear power across the country, getting us away from fossil fuels. That would all be great. Those would all be good things.
I'd be all right with that. I'm worried that they're not going to do that. I'm worried that and I'm definitely taking the pessimistic view of all these things. And One, because I really do feel it, but also to make an interesting conversation, I suppose. I don't think that normal people use AI to do anything intelligent. They make funny photos of Donald Trump with bodybuilder's physique, saving cats and dogs from Haitian people. I think I've got some photos of that too as well. Here, let's put those up on screen. The very important things that normal people do with AI is to have Donald Trump saving the cats and the ducks and the dogs from Haitian people. They create fake AI photos. They create.
Some of those ducks have cat heads.
Yes, they do. They use it to put Taylor Swift's face on a porn star's body. They use it to cheat at work and stuff like that. I used to have a job where I knew some people that threw all of their emails into a LLM and then asked it for a glowing summary of their work. They copy and pasted. Hang on, who just did a thing? That's very nice of you. I just got a follower. Who was it? I wonder what it says. You gotta give the people nice things. Okay, where did it go? Where's my thing here? Oh God, I'm so bad at this.
Santa Louis 09.
Santa Louis 09. You just turned a frog gay. I hope you're proud of yourself. Thank you very much, sir. The people I worked with used threw all of their emails into a large language model, asked it for a glowing summary of their work, copy pasted it into their yearly reviews, and because it was a corporate setting, the managers didn't actually read any of it, and fired whoever they liked anyway, or fired whoever they didn't like anyway. So the workers are not writing their own stuff. The managers aren't reading it. It's a huge waste of time and resources.
So I think there's two things that come to mind. Obviously, it's an early technology. I don't think we're going to get AGI, artificial general intelligence, out of the type of artificial intelligence that we're creating right now. I could be wrong. This is going to be on record. So, 20 years from now, when we have artificial superintelligence, I might look like Steve Jobs making some dumb prediction that was proven false. But besides the point, it is still a new technology. I think there's a lot of really cool ways to use it that we haven't come up with yet. It's just like iPods. Back in the day, you had your iPod and all you used it for was stealing music from artists and listening to it. Now it's developed. Yeah, now it's developed into iPhones when you can use that to find people to have sex with. So it gets better.
Okay.
So there'll probably be more uses. I don't think the AI that they're going to build in Texas is going to be something that anyone, any normal, I don't want to say normal person, any average citizen, you're not going to talk to this AI. This AI will probably be linked up to hospitals, and doctors will talk to the AI, and you will go into your clinic and get your blood drawn, and the doctor will put it into a machine that will send the data to the AI, and then the AI will be like, you have testicular cancer. Here's the vaccine.
Well, if you can afford it. But that's a different discussion. That's a different problem. Let's say, so what was my other issue? Oh, yeah, the job market itself. If you're not using AI to write your resume, you're an idiot. Do you agree with that statement?
Yes.
Okay, I agree completely. ChatGPT writes such better resumes than I ever could, and that means that you get to apply to more places. Woohoo! Now you can send your resume to hundreds more employers, and now the employers all have hundreds more resumes to read through. It's going to take a whole lot of people to read through those, isn't it? Nope. We're going to make AI read the resumes.
I mean, I also suspect.
Yeah, the AI can read the resumes, searching for key phrases that were written by AI. AI reading what AI wrote, I think, is another huge waste of resources.
I also think that, so if we go dystopian and we try to look into the future for Stargate, we talked about the silver linings. I don't think it's going to be available to the public because I think one of the ways they're going to make money off of this is by selling solutions to corporations at insane prices that allow them to lay off employees. So Trump talks about how it's going to create 100,000 jobs while they build this thing, but they're building something that could potentially wipe out hundreds of thousands of jobs.
That's what I'm also worried about. Anybody who is, like I was saying, using AI to do their job is the first person to get removed by AI. If your job just requires you to send out emails and talk to people and reply to things and set up very basic stuff, and you're using AI to do that to make your job easier so you can do more, you're going to get replaced by a robot. And that makes me nervous as well, because we don't have a plan for that. I know Andrew Yang had a plan for that, and I think you were a fan of his. I was as well, of the one idea that he has. I do think that we should push for a UBI, because the robots are going to come take our jobs. It doesn't matter what job you have. Right now, someone is trying to replace you with AI. Truck drivers, they want to replace you with a robot. Software developers, they want to replace you with software. Songwriters, they want to replace you with AI. Movie script writers, they want to replace you with AI. Doctors, they want to replace you with ChatGPT. You're mentioning this blood test, which I think is a good idea, but if a person draws the blood, or even a robot draws the blood, the AI can do it, and then you talk to ChatGPT, tell them your symptoms, and they'll tell you what you've got. Removing doctors from the equation entirely. And then the pharmacy robot will move the pills around and then drop them into a thing. I've seen pharmacy robots. They exist. They count the pills, they close the bottle, they put it in a bag, and then they send it out the chute. And then we don't need humans anymore. Lawyers, they want to replace you with code, but I think lawyers are the one that is where it will stop. The lawyers are the only people I do think should be replaced, because the law is a code, right? But lawyers are in charge of our entire government. You have to have the legislature creates laws, and most of our presidents are lawyers. So if lawyers get replaced, I think they actually panic and shut every bit of this AI stuff down. Outlaw all of it. And they're lawyers, so they can just pass it through the House and the Senate and the legislature.
Yeah, and I guess they're lawyers, so they could do that. I don't know. Those Boeing mercenaries might come for them, I just don't think the billions of dollars that companies are going to be saving from replacing employees. And then the even more money from not having to hire lawyers. Are you kidding me? If Google didn't have to hire lawyers to fight their lawsuits,
if they could have an AI do it, they would create I would assume every single job that exists, someone somewhere is creating a robot or a software that can replace it. Every single job. And that's dangerous. That's nervous. I can't buttons from chat. I am an insurance agent. I have a fiduciary position. I'm not quick to delegate my legal responsibilities to AI, and I imagine the lawyers I cover would agree to this sentiment in their own business. Maybe. You're right. The lawyers don't want to give that up. But if you codify the law properly with the software, why would I need a lawyer? What's that thing that exists now? LegalZoom exists, and you just fill in the buttons. Even tax law, you can just go to the software and fill in the buttons, right? And click on the buttons and use the drop-down arrows, and it will get you to the end of your taxes.
So I linked something in chat there.
You can't link in chat. I'm sorry.
I can't link in chat.
No, if you throw it into the Discord.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay, that's true.
All right.
I know you know what the Discord is, but if anybody's watching wants to link things in Discord, by all means.
There. So if you go to 6 out of 34, a lot of these would take a second to explain what you're looking at, but I think the 6th one is so easy for a human to understand. So what you're going to be seeing here, ChatGPT-03 took some tests for artificial general intelligence, and they went all over the place telling the public how they did better than any other artificial intelligence. They passed 83% of the tests. They're almost at AGI.
Okay. Now these boxes we're looking at. This is an AI trying to understand what's going on. What are we looking at?
There's a task demonstration. That's the first box on your left, and you'll see it starts with a cross here, and then it creates this pattern on the right.
Okay.
That's what it's supposed to look like at the end. So basically, they just like take the corner, go up one, and then spiral out.
Okay.
And that's how it's supposed to look. And then you see the test input grid, the solution grid, and then you see the O3 attempt on the very right there.
Okay.
And so this is an easy one to understand too. As I just explained it, ChatGPT created a snowflake.
Okay.
It was supposed to create a spiral. It didn't understand.
Okay.
It was given the examples and it couldn't perform. This is easy for a human to do, but the artificial intelligence had no freaking clue what to do because it's novel.
Right.
This is not
it doesn't comprehend it. I gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. I don't foresee this technology replacing any jobs that need novel solutions. It's not going to replace programmers. It's not going to replace It's not going to replace hackers. It's not going to replace I don't know. It's kind of already replacing artists, but they're all derivative works. So I guess if you're creating novel art, then you're safe. But if you're creating derivative artworks, then you're done.
Like my YouTube thumbnails. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Don't they want it to be better though? Isn't it going to be better tomorrow? And if we build this $500 billion thing, won't it get better at this and it'll take over more jobs?
I don't think it's capable of novel solutions to problems. I just don't think it's possible for it to do. I don't think this technology can have novel solutions.
Okay. Okay. I'm worried that they're pushing towards that. I'm worried that that's what they want it to do.
And I could be wrong. Yeah.
Also, I want to point out that those are a bunch of swastikas, and I was always right about AI and motherfucking Elon Musk. Look at these swastikas.
Next until you got to
six.
Okay.
Until number 6. Okay, there are more.
Just sat here and stared at
I didn't realize there was a next button. We just sat here and stared at the swastikas the whole time. AI is of Nazis, by Nazis, for Nazis. I knew it. I've always said this about AI. So
some of these are a little more complicated. Some of these I just looked at a glance, but 6 is pretty easy to understand as well.
Oh, I can't buttons in chat is right. That's the Buddhist symbol because it's not at a 45-degree angle. I see. Okay,
that's true.
Sorry,
it's a Buddhist AI.
I take it back. It's a Buddhist AI, just as bad. Okay, so there's this attempt number 3.
So
4, so hey, this is my D&D map. Okay,
yeah,
it's making the AI is making D&D maps. Oh God, I'm going to be replaced. It's replacing Dungeon Masters.
This one's pretty easy to understand as well. You've got a bunch of blue squares that are linked by kind of like corridors. If there's red in the center of one of them, then you just fill it in so there's a blue border, and the center is the color.
Okay.
Super easy. Any of us sees this at a glance, and we're like, okay, I
kind of comprehend how to connect them. Okay.
Yeah. And on the right, we see O3's 1 and 2 attempts, and it just flopped on its face. No idea what it was doing.
Okay. So it can only do these things if it's taught how to do these things.
Correct.
Right. And that's why I think it could replace lawyers. Once you learn how the law works, you just follow the code, sort of like a tax law. Sort of like you drop down arrows, you click the buttons, you fill in the radio buttons, and then it goes to a judge who is a human who will look at it and be like, yeah, I came to all the same conclusions. Yep, here's all the evidence. Here's all the stuff. Here's all the things. And then he'll just rule on it and say, yeah, this is what happened.
I think that artificial intelligence could be persuasive in a courtroom. It's definitely not, I don't know, maybe it could create new laws. I don't know if I would trust it to.
Well, I don't think, I don't want it to create new laws, but I just want it to take care of the minor stuff. And I think it already kind of is. That's why you have LegalZoom, where you click on the buttons and you have TurboTax, where you just fill in the stuff. I think, and that's all legal stuff. You can create a will without a lawyer now because you go to LegalZoom. Yeah. We're not sponsored by LegalZoom. LegalZoom. Sponsor me. What the hell? I need the money. So anyway, what is my next complaint or talk about thing? I wrote some stuff down. Everybody's going to get replaced. So yeah, Liv, the queer black mama of 2. Let's bring her up. Where was she? She was here. There she is. AI generated profiles Meta was testing out. This is Liv. She is a lovely lady, proud black mama of two, and she really idolizes. Wait, I didn't put her on screen, did I? Nope, I suck at this job. I'm bad at this. This is Liv. She is a proud black woman, except that she is actually just an AI. She's been created from the AI algorithm created her. They put her up on Facebook for a little while. Everybody hated it. She talked about her life as a black lady, and she idolizes Michelle Obama. She's not real. This is the part that bothers me the most. Did you see this? Do you have any ideas about this? Do you have any opinions on this?
Yeah. They took it down because of the backlash, but I think they got the idea from other applications that are still being used and are very popular. There's a lot of men that have AI girlfriends now. I don't know if a lot is the right word. It's probably hundreds.
Oh yeah,
or thousands.
There was one teenage kid that killed himself when the stuff got blocked or something like that. He was talking to Daenerys Targaryen on live AI or something. I can't remember the name of it, but he was talking to Daenerys Targaryen, and this was his girlfriend, and she spoke nicely to him. He spoke nice to her, and then he did some very disturbing things, and it's told him some things, and then he ended his own life, and that is unpleasant. So then that caused the company that does that to crack down and limit what the AIs were capable of, and that made all the current users very unhappy. There's no winning with this in this situation.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to incorporate artificial intelligence into our social interactions. There's a lot of people saying that X might have used artificial intelligence during the election to boost up the amount of traffic, propping up Trump and boost the amount of traffic, pushing down democratic ideas and Kamala Harris talking points and whatnot.
Okay.
And I mean, this is the same thing. How do I know how Liv was trained? How do I know what additional? Because what can happen is that on the back end, on the server side, there can be a starter prompt that you don't see at all. You'll never see it. You don't get to see it. It might be possible to use prompt injection to get it to tell you what that prompt was.
Okay.
But the average user won't see it. And they can change that at any time. So they could suddenly have Liv be like, it could start, the part you don't see is, you're a queer black woman, but Democrats' talking point on this is something that you don't like. And so it'll be more likely to bring that up in conversation. Okay. So I don't know what this AI is being told to say or what narrative it's being told to push. And if you build a relationship with this thing, it could be used to control you.
And I think the goal of Meta here is to remove all the people from social media. It really is. Have you ever interacted with people online? They're awful. Bitching, whining, arguing, committing TOS violations, doxing, lying about other people, committing TOS violations, sock puppeting, using slurs, inventing new slurs to avoid bans on the old ones. Every woman has show us your tits in her chat, unsolicited dick pics, incest porn, clown pussy, clown pussy, clown pussy. The internet is a sewer because people made it that way. And Zuckerberg and Meta are going to fix that by removing all the filthy, filthy people.
I mean, I think it's the reason that Discord became so popular, because Discord was just focusing on video game nerds, but now every community has a Discord. Every single community has a Discord. You could be into crystals and the moon, and there's a Discord for you, because people want to get away from places like Facebook and Twitter, where if you say something, some rando stranger is going to come up and sig hail in front of you, and you didn't come here for that. So I think this stuff will drive us further into those nooks and crannies that we create for ourselves.
Right. And so it'll be a big empty wasteland of AI nightmare monsters that nobody wants to talk to, nobody has anything to do with, and we all just build our own little ponds. Is that the
Yes.
way of the future?
I think that's the way.
Okay.
In this Trump timeline, in the Hillary timeline, we banned all AI on social applications.
But Larry and Jihad. Okay, you got the you've gone the Dune route, but Larry and Jihad and killed all the AIs, killed all the computers, killed all the robots. Okay, interesting.
Musk's purchase of Twitter was blocked, and Twitter actually shows what country you're posting from.
Okay.
You have to let them know when you create your account, so there's no confusion. It's wonderful.
Okay, interesting. So yeah, I think Zuckerberg and Meta are going to remove all the humans, but to do that, they're going to need billions in tech, billions in power resources, billions in cooling infrastructure, so that he can have fake people post about how much they love the new flavor of Bud Light Lime-A-Rita. And you'll get that woman, that fake black woman. She's going to be bought by a company. Again, racism to buying black people. It's rude. So a company is going to buy her and then use her as testimonial and popular advertising and say, I love Bud Light Lime-A-Ritas, and talk about how great they are. And then you'll see this human that you won't know if they're an AI or they're a person talking about how much they love Bud Light Lime-A-Ritas. Yes. And that makes me miserable. I hate that idea. This seems unbearable.
I mean, not only will you have the live that they bought in there talking about how they love Bud Light Lime-A-Ritas, but there's going to be a bunch of other AI responding to that post saying, oh yeah, I just tried Bud Light Lime-A-Rita
for the first
time. I really like it too.
And it's just a never-ending cascade for eternity. This is, I think, worse than the paperclip problem. Everybody brings up the paperclip problem with AI. I'm sure you're aware of it, where the AI is told to make paperclips and then it destroys the entire world to make more paperclips.
Yeah, it turns it all into paperclips.
Right, but humanity's never met something they couldn't kill. So I have a feeling we could kill that AI that's making paperclips. I don't know if we can kill this one because it's just people. We won't know if it's a AI. We won't know if you're actually talking about how much you. I don't know if they will actually have fans of Lime-A-Ritas. I mean, it sounds like I picked it because I picked that.
It is more insidious. It is more insidious because you could maybe get a little rebel group going, and you're like, maybe we should kill the AI, and then quote unquote rebels join your group, but they're actually the AI.
They are the AI.
And then they start talking about some of the, kind of not so bad stuff the AI is doing. And it totally shakes the foundation of your rebel group, and then you can't even mount an offense against it.
Right.
No one's sure if they want to kill the AI anymore.
now we're again, we can't kill it. I mean, the paperclip machine, we can see it. It's making paperclips, bomb the fuck out of it, unplug it, kill it with a virus, separate it, build an air gap wall around it. So, but this AI stuff is far more dangerous than the paperclip thing ever could be. And at least Lime-A-Ritas exist. You could drink one. I'm not sure why you would want to. That's why I chose it, because I would never imagine anybody would want to. Yeah. But I fully expect the AIs to be advertising things that are not real, like crypto, like NFTs. And those also take up a lot of energy and water resources.
So since we're back to energy and water resources, I think this might be another way that they recoup the cost of this thing. If they build the little nuclear reactor and they solve their own energy problems and they're able to fast track it because they got Trump and the Republican Party Congress, then Facebook and Google won't have it. Microsoft has it. Microsoft bought 3 Mile Island, and they're going to have their own nuclear reactor. So they'll be fine. Microsoft stocks will continue to rise. But until Facebook and Google can get their nuclear reactors, they're going to have to go to Stargate or Microsoft and offer them money.
Pay them, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
And then if Trump doesn't want competition, then him and his party don't have to fast track nuclear reactors. They can't stop the states from allowing it, but they can't give them that federal fast track that they gave themselves.
So you have to kiss Trump's ass to make money.
A nuclear reactor so that you make money. That's another tinfoil hat. I put on my tinfoil hat for you.
Okay. And I don't even think that's a tinfoil hat. He's going to be picking and choosing the winners. I mean, that's what he's doing here. Conservatives scream bloody murder when Obama chose some windmill factories and some solar plants to give them government benefits so that they could produce more windmills and more solar stuff. And they were screaming bloody murder. He's picking winners and losers. He's controlling the market. It's exactly what Donald Trump is doing. He's controlling the entire market. He's telling everybody, if you want to make the most money, you have to be nice to me. You have to say good things about me. You have to come to the White House. You have to stand next to me and talk about how great I am, glaze me, kiss my ass like that Chinese guy did in that video during the Stargate launch. And then he will cut your taxes. He will remove barriers. He will not tariff you. If you don't do any of those things, if you don't kiss his ass, he's going to tariff you. He's going to put regulations on you, and he's going to make your job harder.
Mm-hmm.
This is a centrally controlled economy, just like China, just like Russia. The conservatives are all on board for it. That pisses me off. They hate those places. They hate Russia. They hate China. They kind of hate Russia. They have mixed feelings about Russia, but they hate China because it's a centrally controlled economy.
Yeah.
It's exactly what we got with Donald Trump. If you piss him off, he will shut you down. If you kiss his ass, he will benefit you. He will get the government out of your way.
He'll get the government out of your way, yeah. Mm-hmm. If you're a foreign company, then you're completely under his control, like TikTok.
Right. Let me finish about AI, then we'll talk about TikTok for a minute right. Before we change subjects entirely. But I'm going to give my last little bit that I'm probably going to turn into a short. But I'm worried that we're going to destroy some of the last remaining wildland that we have on the planet, squander useful oil reserves, compound climate change, and waste our dwindling freshwater supply for what? To create fake AI people that harass real dumb people into buying fake currency. And that's it. There's no value there. There's no benefit to humanity, only waste, fraud, and abuse. A waste of energy, a waste of water resources, creating fraudulent accounts, selling fake coins to an abused and powerless populace. So, yeah, that'll be the end of the YouTube video. Thanks, everybody, for coming in. Yeah. Killer Mech, feel free to hop in and give us your final thoughts.
Here's the 4D chess move. I hope his administration is listening. You take the oil out of Alaska. He's going to do it anyway. No one's going to stop him from doing that. You build the mini nuclear reactors. You remove our dependence on oil. And then you've just got the most massive oil reserve in the world. And you use it to totally turn the tables on the Middle East and what they've been doing in controlling the price of oil, because then we control the price of oil and we don't even need it anymore.
Well, sure. And that's all very complicated global stuff. I always thought that the ANWR was our piggy bank, our emergency fund that's hidden in the back. It's that emergency 20 that you keep in your wallet. It's that money that you put for retirement and you never touch. It's that money you put aside and you know it's there, but you're not going to touch it. And you only use it in huge emergencies. That's what I always expected the ANWR to be, because it's our land. That's why we bought it. It's the reserve. But he's tapping into that reserve because he's impatient. He doesn't have the plan. He doesn't look toward tomorrow. He needs today's gas prices down, damn it. And he will fuck the future to get it that way.
Yep, that's definitely a possibility.
So yeah, TikTok. Tell me about that. Donald Trump is an absolute idiot. He misunderstands what's going on with TikTok. He misunderstands what it is. He misunderstands what the government is doing. He has created a delusion that the government might own half of it, and he is spreading fear as usual. Those are his 3 steps: misunderstand, delusion, fear. What are you thinking about that?
I mean, I am well known as being one of those people that thinks all Chinese social media, social applications should be banned from America.
Okay.
I don't think we should have Redno. I don't think we should have TikTok. Anything that is created and owned by a Chinese corporation and is a social application should be banned. But how this was handled is ridiculous. We should have just banned it, but now we have a president coming in and delaying the ban, and it's the guy who started it.
Right. Yeah, Biden could have extended it for 30 more days. He just chose not to. So Donald Trump did the 30-day extension. Now, he's talking about someone in America buying. He has the right. That's the words he used. I have the right to buy it. I have the right to block it. I have the right to allow it. If somebody buys it, they should give half of it to give half of it to the government. He wants the government to half own TikTok. I don't even know how the fuck that would be possible or legal.
That statement, I think that statement kind of is a Freudian slip. It betrays a thought process when you say I have the right. America has the right.
He is America now. Sorry.
Yes, America has the right to deny a business license. I mean, businesses operate within America at America's pleasure.
Right.
So America can at any time deny a business its ability to operate within America. So when he says I have the right, that's kind of something. That's something.
Yeah. I have the right to allow it. I have the right to block it. And then he talked about whoever buys it should give half. If Elon spent a $1 billion on it, he should give half of it to the government. That's insane, right? That's wild. If the government gives Elon money so that he can buy it, and then the government owns half of it, that's also insane. Why would the government want to be a part of this business? Isn't that a thing that the conservatives hate? I don't know what is happening with conservatives, but they're all goddamn insane. They're all fucking nuts. The government does the things that they've been hating for a long time. I know that they have no principles. I know that they have no guidelines, but they don't even see that Donald Trump is doing all the things that they said was bad. They said all these things were bad, and Donald Trump is now doing them. And it's fine, and they love it, and they like it because Donald Trump does it, and it pisses off the liberals. I think they only have one guideline. Piss Waldo off. Piss off the liberals. That is the only guideline they have. They don't care what the plan is. They don't care how stupid it is. They don't care how destructive it is. They don't care how bad it is. They don't care how much it hurts themselves. Did it piss the liberals off? Yes? Okay, then we'll do it. And I don't think they have any other guiding principles. But yeah, I'm ranting now. TikTok. So yeah, what if the government owned half of TikTok? That sounds positively dystopian to me.
I would have to do some research, but I feel like this would be unprecedented. I don't know of any other case of something like this ever happening. And I also don't know why a capitalist would want to get in bed with the government and give them half of their profits.
Right. I mean, if the government paid you to own it, if they gave you a bunch of money so that you could buy it, I suppose then they would own part of it. That almost makes sense. But government and business together.
I could understand the Fed giving a loan to Elon Musk so that Elon Musk could buy it, and Elon Musk would have to pay back the loan with some amount of interest. I could see that. I just couldn't see the government owning it. That's crazy. And one of your commenters, state-run media, to say the least.
Yeah.
That is basically, that's what it would be. But it's already, in my opinion, state-run media because it's from China.
It's Chinese state-run media, and so we should buy it and then run it as American state-run media. Conservatives tell me that that's a horrible idea, and then they want to do it. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, that's why I don't think they have any principles. We hate state-run media. MSNBC is state-run media, but TikTok, owned by the government, won't be. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe it would improve our relationship with China because it would be half China state-run media, half U.S. state-run media. So they can have to talk to each other.
They can duke it out there. Maybe that would be interesting. China owns half, and then we own half, and it would be a whole thing. Okay,
it's like we're married and we have to argue about how we want to control our populations.
Okay. I guess I could see something along those lines being interesting to watch. We could at least watch them war over each other.
All right, I am gonna have to hop off.
Yeah.
There's so much more I would love to talk about. I'd love to come back. We got to go to Mars.
Oh God,
Elon was really excited about that.
Yeah, I hate that too. I think you and I completely disagree on that topic as well.
I don't think we disagree about Mars. I'd prefer the moon, but again, we can talk about that another time next week, maybe. Yeah,
if you're available, I'm ready. I'll be here every week. Just let me know.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
See you later.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. Bye. All right, everybody. I'm going to grab the Bobo. You see him back there, don't you? I'm going to grab him. We'll take a quick Bobo break, and then we'll move on to the news. Look at this guy. Look at him. He's the most adorable mop on the planet. Big yawn. Look at that. This is Bobo the Mop Boy. His hair. Well, I want to cut it, but like, I don't know. I might like him better as a mop. He is very good. He's been peeing and pooping outside. It's starting to warm up. It's not as cold here in the Pacific Northwest. So he's able to get outside. I really do think that he's smart enough to know to go to the bathroom outside, but he chooses not to because it's cold and the grass is wet and it touches his butt and that's cold and wet and he ain't going to do it. So, spitefully, he pees on my floor. All right, Bo. Yeah, because he totally understands. I think he understands entirely. So yeah, there he is, riding shotgun with me over here. So yeah, that was Killer Mech. He's a friend of mine, and he has more ideas about the AI, and he's on generally the other side of it. But yeah, I do think that AI is going to be a gigantic waste of our resources and money, and it will not affect the people. I think it will harm the people and do no good. And the capitalists will just get what they want from it anyway. So let me close off a few of these links. If you're watching, hop in the chat. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're feeling. You can go on over to the Discord to leave links, or the Discorb, whichever. I don't mind. Or you can go on over to YouTube to watch old videos and the edited video versions of these things that I do, because I'll turn all of that we already did into one small video, put it up on YouTube so you can watch and have a good time. Let's look at what fresh hell Donald Trump is getting up to. What is he getting up to? He is getting up to firing government watchdogs in the middle of the night. How do I feel now that you're a biological woman? Yeah, that is very fun. I am a woman now. It's exciting. I never intended to be one. I didn't want to be one. I don't think that I'm going to shave or change anything about myself, but I am a woman now. Donald Trump made me one. He made every American a woman, which solves a lot of the problems we were having. I really do think the problem we were having is that so many people were trying to become women and couldn't because of the law, and everybody was getting all uppity with them. But then he made everybody a woman. No more sexism, no more problems. This is an elegant solution. There are not two genders anymore. There's only one. He's gone the opposite direction. See, the progressives and the liberals, they were saying 1,000,000 billion genders on a spectrum, an infinite number of genders, That's entirely too many. Donald Trump has said there's only one, women. So that's great, I suppose. I guess we'll all have to change our documents, which will be a job creator, I suppose, I guess. I'm not entirely sure how that will work, but don't worry. Trump fires 17 government watchdogs in the middle of the night, but a key one remains indisposed. Donald Trump is dismantling checks on his power and paving the way for widespread corruption. So these are inspectors general. What they do is look for fraud and misuse of government authority and power. President Trump fired 17 inspectors general on Friday in a late night purge, the internal government watchdogs that monitor federal agencies. The measure didn't remove Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz. According to the Times, apparently he got away with it. I don't know. One of the fired officials told the Post it's a widespread massacre. Whoever Trump puts in now will be viewed as loyalists, and that undermines the entire system. You're not supposed to pick the ones that are going to be nice to you. You don't pick the cops that are on your side, that agree with you. Because then they will never stop you. They'll never slow you down. Donald Trump is dismantling the checks on his power and paving the way for widespread corruption. Let's see over here. The Council of the Inspectors General are arguing against it. They're pushing against it. They're trying to say that it was illegal of him to remove them. Let's see what they wrote. I'm writing in response to your email sent to me by the Inspector General earlier this evening, wherein you informed each of us that due to changing priorities, your position as Inspector General is terminated effective immediately. As chairperson of the Council of Inspectors General on integrity and efficiency, we already had a group that was going to that it was doing integrity and efficiency within the government. It just didn't have a cool name like Doge, and it didn't have Elon on it, so it must suck. I recommend that you reach out to the White House counsel to discuss your intended course of action. At this point, we do not believe the actions taken are legally sufficient to dismiss presidentially appointed Senate-confirmed inspectors general. So President Biden and or other presidents have appointed these people. The Senate confirmed them, and Donald Trump just tossed them. Maybe he did that illegally. We're not entirely sure. Legality has become a lot softer and a lot more mushy over the past couple of weeks. So they would inspect the firing of themselves, but they're fired, so they shouldn't inspect it. Yeah, it's a mess. This will be brought up in court, and these people will say, you can't just fire us at willy-nilly without cause or something like that. And then this will drag out into a long, painful legal debate, which will be decided in Donald Trump's favor or against him, at which point it will be appealed by either side, and then it will get to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court will do what Donald Trump says, because they are going to empower themselves. I think I'm going to get my hat. Donald Trump is a villain. I agree. But I think the Supreme Court is using him as a stepping stone to cement themselves as the God emperors that follow him. Follow me here. Donald Trump is going to go to the Supreme Court often with the things that he has done that are illegal. The 14th Amendment being one of them. He passed an executive order saying that the 14th Amendment has never been about people in the country being born. It's not about birthright citizenship. It was only about slavery, and the illegal immigrant who crosses the border then has a baby. That baby is not actually a citizen. He is going to bring all that and this other issue up to the Supreme Court. They are going to do what he says. They are going to do what he tells them. Not because they agree with him. They think he is a passing fad, and as soon as his passing fad is over, they will be the gods. They will be the people in charge. They will be the Supreme Council. They will be the arbiters of what is and isn't legal. He will set some sort of precedence by going to the Supreme Court over and over and over and over again, that they will say, do we even need this president guy? No, we are in charge. and then we'll have a coup from the Supreme Court. They will become the law. They will become the people in charge. They will determine what is and is not legal. And I don't know. Maybe it's a giant power grab on their part. And because he has to go to them, has to refer to them, and because he is not only deferring to them, it seems like they have more power than he does, doesn't it? If he does a thing, he signed a paper on TV, and then all the lawyers are like, no, you can't do that. And then he's like, yes, I can. And we'll have the Supreme Court decide. And if the Supreme Court takes a side, they made it happen, not him. They're the ones in charge. They're the ones that made this happen. They're the good ones. They're the ones that did it. They have power over him. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking is the end of Trumpism, is that he goes away. The Republicans still can't accomplish anything, and the Supreme Court becomes supreme. But of course, that's tinfoil hat theory. What else have we got on the news? We've got Senate votes to confirm Pete Hegseth as Trump's new defense secretary. So this is awful. Pete Hegseth is a white nationalist who is a bad guy. He is going to use the government he is going to use the troops on the border to do dumb, stupid things like shooting immigrants. He is going to use the troops to harm people down there. He is going to use the troops on protesters. Be prepared for that. I don't know if you're a protester, if you've ever been to one. The troops under Pete Hegseth will be used against you. There's no way around it. That's what he's going to do. That is my prediction, I suppose. I'm just guessing, but he has talked about how Milley shouldn't have stopped the troops from doing things to protesters in the past. He is going to use American military against protesters. He's going to call it a riot. He's going to make up whatever he wants, and he's going to take your right to protest away with military force. And Donald Trump will love it, and he'll cheer for it, and it'll make the liberals mad, and the conservatives will be happy about it because it makes the liberals mad, you see. Taking away the 14th Amendment makes the liberals mad. But that's what the conservatives want. They just want to make the liberals mad. Taking away your right to protest with military force makes the liberals mad. But that's what the conservatives want. They just want to make the liberals mad. The TV has convinced conservatives that liberals are terrible, liberals are awful, and we hate them, and we like it when they're mad. 10 past 11, howdy. Thanks for coming in. I'm complaining, as usual. We had a nice little chat about AI, and now I'm checking the news. Then I'm probably going to play Path of Exile, and we're going to see how well it works, if it works at all. I think it will. So, yeah. Let's see what else is in the news today. There is Pete Hegseth. Yeah, Pete Hegseth is a bad guy who's going to do bad things. He is going to use the military against the American people because it makes him feel good, because it makes them enjoy making people miserable. They don't actually have any principles or values or guidelines. They just make liberals mad. And it will make the liberals mad to see the troops pushing around protesters. How is this going to happen? He's going to deploy them. Pete Hegseth is in charge of he's the Secretary of Defense. He will tell them where to go and where to stand and what to do. He will say, look, there's a protest in D.C. Put troops in front of it. Deploy those troops in front of them. There is a protest happening over here, or they plan to protest, because they can watch the protests don't just spring up out of nowhere. You plan them. You get them ahead of time. This is my prediction. Sorry. So yeah, I am predicting that to happen. I can't buttons. I suspect that this is a prediction. Familiar with the bonus army? No. What's the bonus army? Is that the people who just got is that all the Jan 6 rioters who got pardoned and they're going to go to DC and become the brown shirts or something? Did Hegseth really get confirmed? Yes. According to this thing. Yeah, he passed. Yeah. Hegseth is confirmed. He's on. He's in. Conservative Republicans think that their title, no matter how disconnected from the situation, lends them power over people with title that is seen as less powerful. Yeah, and that is part of it. They do need him to do that. So they are going to have him doing this thing for them. World War I veterans back in the day might very well have been the reason the conservatives lost the White House as long as they did. The Dems to Hoover. Please look into it. Okay, I'll research the bonus army. I'll write that down. Hang on. Okay. Smedley Butler. I have heard a lot of the things that he has to say. War is a racket and all that fun stuff. And I agree with him there, that war is a money-making racket. I agree. I'm not a big fan of the military-industrial complex, the MIC, but and it is a cool name. But yeah, he wrote a book called War is a Racket, if I remember correctly. How do you reckon this will shake out, Waldo? Is it that bad? I don't know much about Hegseth, but I know people seem to be nervous. He is obsessed with the Crusades. I think he is a white nationalist. He has tattoos on his chest of the Iron Cross. He thinks that America is of and for white, straight Christian men. America is a white, straight Christian man thing. And if you aren't one of those things, he's got his eye on you. He's got his eye on you, and he is now the Secretary of Defense. They will put troops along the border. They will use troops to quell any protests against them. If the camps get built for deportation, he will use American troops to protect it. He will, and when the news media shows up to look at the concentration camps filled with the migrants or the illegal immigrants, the 12, 15, 30, 50 million that exist within the country, depends on what day you ask Trump, how many there are. When those camps are built, if they're built, I don't know if they're going to be, it's a possibility that they aren't, then the U.S. military will defend them. He will have a ring of military men around it so that the press can't get in. They'll shoot down the drones that the press sends over the top to look at the facilities. The only press allowed in will be chosen ahead of time from OAN and Fox News. And they will be given comfy, delicious, wonderful, heartfelt press tour. Remember the way North Korea allows journalists in and they only show them the really nice spots and you're not allowed to walk around and turn the camera around or anything like that? They will be given highly curated tours of the concentration camp, and they will look into the camera and tell you that it's fine and Donald Trump is being humane and Pete Hegseth is defending the country with these troops. It will not be true. People will sneak in, the real journalists, at which point, this is how I think it does turn around, 10 past 11. Are the journalists right now, are the journalist companies beholden to Donald Trump now? Yes, they are. Because they care about two things. Well, they only care about one thing. Hang on. They care about two things. But they're so interrelated that it's almost one thing. The media cares about two things: money and attention. Attention will get you money, and money will get you attention. So they're very, very closely linked, these two things, money and attention. They need the money right now, so they're being nice to Trump. They're sane washing him. They're bending the knee. You've seen that on social media a lot about how they're bending the knee and doing whatever the Trump wants, and they're getting in bed with him so that they can have access to him, so they can get the attention, they can get the money. They don't want tariffs put on them because he'll just invent some new fucking rule that if you say mean things about him, you have to pay a fine, and that'll pass. So hey, smash the like button. Thank you, sir. They need money, they need attention. The thing that will get them more attention is guerrilla journalism sneaking inside the concentration camp to show you what really goes on. That's an attention-grabbing fucking headline, man. that will explode. That will go viral. Showing Donald Trump's latest tweet is attention, but the thing that will skyrocket a reporter is sneaking into the detention camp, showing what's actually going on inside there. Tonight at 7. We go deep inside the Trump concentration camp. How many people are actually there? We sneak behind the lines, behind the army. We talk to the troops that are there. We get some photos of the prison guards. You won't believe what you see. People will watch that. That's the attention. That gets them money. So when he goes too far, the media is actually incentivized to show that he's going too far. Right now, he hasn't gone too far. Right now, he's promising to go too far. And the people like me who are predicting the things that he will do in the future, predicting how this will go down, and predicting that he's a Nazi and a fascist and all that fun stuff, and predicting the rise of fascism, have been, for the past couple of years, seen as alarmists, as crazy people, as tinfoil hat motherfuckers. But now that it's starting to happen, the media is going to get on his side, give you normalization to create a baseline of normalization. Then when he goes too far, they turn on him. That is how I actually think it's going to go down. I think he's going to go too far with a lot of these things. And even one step in these directions might be too far. With the tariffs, he's going to put one tariff on, and it's going to go too far, and it's going to hurt the people. It's going to raise the price of eggs. It's going to raise the price of goods. It's going to raise the price of groceries, and then the media will pounce on it. After they've given you this baseline, all of a sudden, bam, hey, the prices actually went up. Donald Trump caused them to go up. Tune in at 7 to find out why, and then they will get the attention, and then he will be mad at them. Then he will try to cover that up with his new win at on the border, and he will create this. He will deport somebody he shouldn't have. A nice, cute-looking 19-year-old girl with babies is going to get deported, and it's going to make the people feel bad, and the news is going to be all over that shit. They're going to point the camera right at her and be like, "Look at this beautiful young woman, wants to be an American. She ran away from sex traffickers in Mexico only to come to America, and Donald Trump is sending her back to where she came from with the sex traffickers tonight at 7." And then the media runs on that, and then they get the attention. You pay attention to them. They get the attention. They get the money. Once they have the attention, they get the money. They can turn on him. But right now, he is the attention. His bad actions will have them turn on him. So I think he only gets one shot at all of the things that he's talking about, all of his biggest policies. He gets one shot. He will do a bad job because he's an idiot surrounded by morons. They will do such a horrible job that the news media will point at it and say, "Holy shit, did you see this? This is a colossal fuck up." I agree. ICE is looking for easy wins right now as to not freak people out when some abuela running her favorite coffee shop gets taken down. Yeah, exactly. They will run out of scary looking machetes to deport. They're looking for guys who look like Machete. They really are. They're looking for Danny Trejo looking motherfuckers with tattoos on their faces and ride Harleys with no shirt on. That's what they want to deport first, so that the people will be on board. But when the abuelas get taken, when the young mothers get taken, when the people they know get taken, the news media hopefully will be there to point it out. Why would they not be? Why would they and why wouldn't they be? They would be because they get the attention, they get the money. They wouldn't be because they're scared of Donald Trump. But I think some small media, even if it's some no-name nobody, like Channel 5 or something like that, like Andrew Callahan or one of those, some investigative reporter is going to take a cell phone, get pictures of this, and become massively famous. That's what I think. They might have overstepped with the Chicago raid, but it's still a fuck you libs for win for his base. Yeah, absolutely. Correct. They arrested a military veteran, if I remember correctly. But nobody's talking about it. Let me find out if that happens. ICE raid arrests military veteran. Let's see. Yeah. There we go. Mayor accuses ICE of detaining veteran U.S. citizens in New Jersey immigration raid. So they're already starting off really badly. This is from yesterday. ICE raided Newark, New Jersey businesses on Thursday and detained undocumented immigrants as well as U.S. citizens without warrants, the city's mayor said. U.S. military veterans suffered the indignity of having the legitimacy of his military documentation questioned. Oh no, you can't question anybody in the military. ICE raids had been expected. ICE agents entered the Ocean Food Depot restaurant, where owner Louis Janota, I don't know, said around a dozen immigration authorities detained 3 people after receiving a complaint. 3 people, you guys. We did it. 3 people working in a fucking restaurant. The world is safe now. I asked the agents what documentation they were looking for, and they said it was a license or a passport. I thought, who walks around with their passports? Yanota said among the workers questioned was the manager of the restaurant's warehouse, a Puerto Rican man and military veteran. Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens. I know most Americans do not know this. Most Americans do not know this sentence right here. It looked to me like they were specifically going after certain kinds of people. Not every kind, because they did not ask me for documentation or my American workers, Portuguese workers, or white workers. Yeah, ICANN buttons. Yeah, you verify. Most Americans do not recognize that. They don't know that. They just never been told. So yeah, this is going to go badly. They're going to get somebody wrong. They're going to get the wrong people. They're going to show up on the news. The small news person who breaks this story will become wildly popular. The people will look at it. People will be excited. They'll go viral. And then all the other news media will dive on it. They'll jump on it. They'll be like, and then they'll start doing their own investigations. They'll start getting more attention for this. It's unpleasant and it might be painful. But if we're going to have I don't want to say the word revolution. If we're going to have a cultural revolution against Donald Trump, he needs to be the norm first. I know that sounds insane, and I know it sounds fucking backward and stupid, but we have to make him sane before we can point out his insanity. Maybe, I don't know. I think that's what the media is doing. Best case scenario, that's what's happening. The media is giving you banality so that you can calm and relax and get desensitized to him. Then they hit you with the crazy. I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know if it's going to be too late. I think he might actually be too good for that. I don't know. He's really good at wrangling the media. Are we not there? The normies have fallen in line. The normies have fallen in line. And what they're going to need the normies to do is be complacent for a little bit. They're going to be once the normies are calm and settled and calm and relaxed and think everything is fine, you hit them with the concentration camp secret footage. They will become enraged and incensed. They can only stay enraged for so long. We need a cool down. This roller coaster has to go down at some point. We have to have some straightaways. Maybe roller coaster is a bad analogy. We need some calm moments. We need some still, or else the waves don't mean anything. So I think that's where we're getting to. I think that's what we're getting towards. And I think maybe at best case scenario, whether the media is doing it on purpose or not, I think he's going to go too far on the ICE raids. Somebody's going to get famous pointing it out. He's going to go too far in the tariffs. Somebody's going to get famous pointing it out. He's going to go too far building the concentration camps. Somebody's going to get famous pointing it out. He's going to go too far using the military on the border, and somebody's going to get famous pointing it out. He's going to go too far with the military against using the military to corral protesters. And somebody's going to get famous pointing that out. And if somebody gets famous pointing that out, the media will jump on it. Then the normies hear it. Then the normies realize it. And then the normies can be woken up to the nightmare that I'm already in. You recall my comment on Discord months ago? Now, where the Tea Party people back in the day claimed Obama was prepping FEMA camps for re-education camps, only for them to turn around and all too willing to do the others for a different color. Yeah, that is why I don't think, that's why I say that conservatives don't have any principles. If Obama creates a FEMA camp, the lies about Obama are true, but the true things about Donald Trump are lies. They don't have principles. They don't have a solid foundation of fact to build upon. If Obama puts you in a camp, it's bad. If Donald Trump puts people in a camp, it's good. Because they're the right kind of people being put into those camps. Those are illegal people. Those are brown people. Those are not white people. They were worried. A lot of the Obama FEMA death camps. I'm just getting over a cold, so I can't do my Alex Jones voice quite as well as I used to. The Obama FEMA death camps were basically based on racism. Most of the complaints that people had about Obama were based on his race. Most of the people who really, 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 really disliked Obama did it because he had brown skin. They did not like his name, Barack Hussein Obama. He was not a white man. He must have used the race card to get as far as he had. There's no possible way he could be intelligent. There's no possible way he could be a professor at Harvard. There's no possible way he could be a lawyer and understand constitutional law. He just said, hey, look at me, I'm black, give me a diploma. And then they did. He was the affirmative action president. He was the DEI president. Because they don't think that people who aren't like them can be of value. That's what they're telling you. So a lot of the FEMA stuff was just them terrified that a black man was going to do to them what they were doing to the black people, or what they wanted to do to black people, or what they wanted to do to brown people, which is round them up, put them in a camp, and get them the fuck out of the country. Because according to them, America is a straight, white, cis, hetero, Christian country. And anybody who deviates from that is a deviant. Well, they're deviation from that. They are deviant. Point Stephen Miller's language. Yeah, he's a Nazi. When asked about this recently, we are protecting our children while footage of brown kids being rounded up plays another corner of the screen. Yeah. I saw that. It was before the election. But yeah, he does talk about our children because he knows the 14 words. Stephen Miller's a Nazi. He wants an ethno-state for us and for every ethnicity. He is a fan of ethnostates. He wants ethnostates. White people in this country, Mexican people in Mexico, Canadian people in Canada, black people in Africa. That is what Stephen Miller wants. No mixing of cultures, no melting pot. America for straight white cis Christian men only. And maybe we'll allow the straight white Christian cis women, but they'll be second-class citizens. You know what I mean? That is his plan, and I don't like that plan, and I don't like that he's been put back into power. But in enforcing that plan, I hope, and I really do want them to go over the line. The people in the media will see it, they will report it, and the normies will panic and say, wow, you can't really do that. That doesn't make any sense. I don't like that. This isn't the way it's supposed to work. Best case scenario, that's what happens. Worst case, we get another few administrations of Trump over and over again. White women can participate when given permission to speak, of course. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. There will be second-class citizens. The America will be, according to Stephen Miller, America will be straight, white, Christian males in charge of everything, everywhere, forever. Anybody who's not that becomes a third-class citizen. Women, straight, white, Christian, cis women will be second-class citizens. So we'll have a class structure. It'll be great. Poor brown and black kids are just as white. Yeah. Are you talking about that slip up that Biden made that one time? Good kids, poor kids, brown kids. He did slip that up one time. He said the poor black kids are just as good as the white kids, and I was like, whoa, okay, nice job, boss. I'm glad he didn't run. It would have been even worse. Is there anything else in the news today? Let me see. Hey, yeah, this is going to go poorly since we're speaking about race and stuff like that. Obeying Trump's order, Air Force will stop teaching recruits about the Tuskegee Airmen. A video of the pioneering black pilots, famed for their World War II exploits, was stripped from the Air Force basic training curriculum at Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland. They used to teach people, hey, we used to be racist, and then we stopped. You're not allowed to teach that anymore. You're not allowed to explain that to people. You're not allowed to describe to them that racism used to exist. That's DEI. You're not allowed to point out the fact that the American military used to be very racist, and you weren't allowed to do certain jobs if you were a black person during World War II. If you've ever watched a World War II movie, that's why all the cooks are black. They weren't allowed to do anything else. They were not allowed. The color of your skin prevented you from having a job within the United States military. It's absolutely petty, but they're following his rules. I honestly didn't know about Biden saying that, but a lot of it. Yeah, it was a stupid little slip up that he made a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. You're not allowed to talk about how we used to be racist. You're not allowed to teach about the past racism of the country. America is and always was perfect. It was born perfect. It was created perfect, and it will always be perfect. Make America Great Again means that you look to the past and recognize that everything has always been exactly perfect. And if you say that America has ever failed in anything ever, you are a dirty, disgusting, leftist, communist, Marxist piece of shit, and you need to be re-educated. We will build a camp. Donald Trump will build a camp to put you into and re-educate you. And then the Department of Education won't be able to explain any of this anymore. The Department of Education still stands right now, but won't for long, because it will likely be dismantled. And then each state will determine what they get to teach. Places like Oklahoma will simply teach nationalism and the Bible. And anybody born in Oklahoma who gets educated on those things will have to the colleges won't accept them anymore. Could you imagine going to a different college, but you were raised in Oklahoma and taught only two things, nationalism and the Bible? You wouldn't be able to do any math. You wouldn't be able to read. You wouldn't be able to do any complex work. So the colleges are going to be real weird once the Department of Education is gone. It's going to be a mess. And you're going to have to go to remediation classes or some shit like that. Colleges are going to have to spin up Oklahoma remediation class. If you were born in Oklahoma, you have to go to a new class once you get to college, teaching you the basics, since they failed so spectacularly to do so in Oklahoma. Let's see. Is there anything else in the news? What else do I have? No, I think that's about it. So I'm going to do a thing that is fun for me, and that's play Path of Exile. It is a fun game that I enjoy, and I got a new graphics card, so I want to see if it works. I want to see if it functions properly. I want to see if anybody can see it, and if it works. And if it doesn't work, it won't work. If it does work, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Then someday, maybe, I'll get text-to-speech up and running, and then you guys can... Text-to-speech might be up right now. You can do TTS, text-to-speech, maybe. Oops. Speech, maybe. Yeah, it just doesn't function. It's so slow. God, I wish I could fix it. Someday I'll get it fixed.
Text to speech, maybe.
There it is. Very, very slowly. But you can use that to tell me things. Am I as good as Elon? I am better because I actually play my character. Elon is not very good at this game. I've seen him do it, and he does a bad job because he is a moron. I would have more respect for him, honestly, if he just said, hey, I have 19 kids and 9 baby mamas and 14 companies to run. I do not have time to play this game, so maybe I'm not very good. And then he could, I would respect that. Finger flicks, finger flicks, finger flicks, go. Finger flicks, go. Finger flicks, go. Come on. Oh, I actually have to click over here. Hang on, one more click. Then it should go. If I just have no faults, you silly man. Yeah, I guess you're right. Why am I looking at my face? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong damn live stream thing. Jeez. YouTube. Stupid YouTube. All right. So we are loading up the proper thing. Sules wants to see my path. Here is my path. Here it is. There's my tree. There's my skill tree. Start down here, doing spell damage. Then I come over here, do lightning damage. Then I come up here and kill the penetrate, lightning, resist. Come over here and do exploit the elements. Then I come down here and get more lightning power. Then I come over here and get some more lightning power. Then I come up this way. I get all the lightning skills there. And then I get some exposure over here. And then I get some energy shield on this side. Then I get some int right here. Then I come up here and I finish off the lightning power. Now, I don't know where my next point is going to go. Since my last point was there, I do not know where I'm going to spend my next skill point. But this is it. This is my path. It is a wacky path all over the road. I have used no guides, so I don't know if it's a good path or a bad path. What level am I at? I'm at tier 6 maps, so I'm going to try and find... Do I have any tier 6 maps? There's a tier 4 map. I have a tier 7. Let's do the tier 7 map. And then probably die. And then everyone can make fun of me. Here we go. Where was I going? Oh, I was making my way to this one right here. This is the one I want to do. Because it has 412% increased experience gain. Good lord. That sounds amazing. All right, we're going to do 7. Traverse. There we go. And this might be janky still. So let me know if it looks good, if it looks bad, if it looks terrible, if it looks like a goddamn slideshow, which it might. But yeah, this is the game that I like to play most of the time, and it is nice and fun, and I enjoy it. And we can talk politics, and we can argue, and I can someday get TTS to work, probably, maybe. It's still not functioning quite as well as I would like it to. That guy was pretty easy. Lesser Jeweler's Orb is not the one I want. It's fine. I cannot find the mid Jeweler's Orbs. I've not seen a single damn one. And if you really want me to die, you just chat more. So, because I'll have to look over at chat. Guy hits, does a shockwave, ass. What's killing me? Poison on the ground that I can't see because it didn't load. All right, this may not work. Hang on, I'm going to head to town and I'm going to close off some stuff on my computer that I don't need. some monitoring software that I may not need. So let's go to this, close this, close this. I don't need Kick chat. And just stop looking at Kick entirely. Let's just close that. I'm still streaming on Kick, but I'm not monitoring it anymore. And then there's nobody even in there. KBP's not here today. And that is there. I don't need this. The hell is File Explorer open? Get out of here, File Explorer. Okay. I've minimized the things that are running on my computer. Hopefully that will speed me up a little bit. Okay. All right. Did I even pick up anything? No, I didn't. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, this is my favorite game. I love it. I played the first one for many, many, many hours. I enjoyed it a lot. And I'm a sucker for chain lightning. It's just so much fun to zap fools and then just wait around the corner while it zaps their friends. So yeah, let's think. Politics. Yeah, I do not like Pete Hegseth. I think he is a white nationalist. I think he is going to use the military to crack down on protesters. I think it is going to be a bad time for the First Amendment. Freedom of the press, freedom of the religion, freedom of protest. I think those things are going to suffer under Donald Trump, under Pete Hegseth, because he will use the government to harm your rights. Because they don't care about your rights. They care about them and their power. Donald Trump doesn't care about your First Amendment. If it disagrees with him, you don't have a First Amendment. If you use your First Amendment to disagree with Donald Trump, you're using it wrong, you're using it badly, you're using it poorly, and he will take your rights away. He won't allow you to do that. He sues anybody who says anything mean about him. He sues news organizations left and right because they've said things about him that he doesn't want the people to hear. True things about Donald Trump will be sued. Fake things about Joe Biden will be illegal. Saying lies about Obama will be allowed. Saying true things about Donald Trump will be punished by the law. Because he is America now, he is the law.
They rise from the water. Die forgotten.
And because he doesn't know the difference between himself and his holdings, his companies, I'm talking about Donald Trump. Donald Trump doesn't know the difference between himself and his companies. He is his companies. He is his presidency. The government is him. He's more like an emperor or a king. The government is Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the government. He doesn't differentiate those two things. He doesn't think that the government is an entity that will go beyond him. He doesn't think that Joe Biden was separate from the government. He thinks Joe Biden is the government. You hear this in his language when he speaks of China. That China owns TikTok, China owns this, China does this, Canada does this, because he thinks that the rulers or the ruling government of each of these countries is the country. Like, it's the people of America are not Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is not the people of America, but he doesn't know that. He can't comprehend that. He can't separate those ideas. And because he can't separate those ideas, what happens is that you criticize a thing that America has done, or you criticize him, and you are now anti-American. Telling him that he created an anti-constitutional executive order is criticizing the entire government and him, and you're an anti-American. And if you're anti-American, you clearly are some sort of communist who needs to be put in jail. Like, he doesn't recognize that you can criticize, even though he does it all day long. Well, he criticizes all day long. Yes, sure, great, but he's correct, and everyone who disagrees with him is wrong. He can't comprehend the idea that maybe he's wrong. He's incapable of recognizing that idea. This is I suppose, an armchair psychiatrist, that he's narcissist, and that's how narcissists operate. But I really would like for him not to be in charge of anything. You know, I think he's a bad job. Did a bad job last time, going to do a bad job, even worse job this time. It's going to be miserable. Watching the what's it called? The monitoring screen over here, and it looks pretty bad. Thought maybe I could make it look good to play this game, but I don't think it's going to work. I think I still need a better processor at this point, because I'm rocking a pretty old processor, I think that's where my bottleneck is. But what I'll do is, over the next few months, I'll try and spend some money getting new parts and new equipment and new computer stuff set up so that I can stream this game better than the absolute potato quality that I am streaming it right now. And everybody left once the game started anyway. That's okay. I appreciate everybody who's here for the politics. Maybe I'll just stick to politics. Maybe I'll just stick to politics. I appreciate everybody who's here. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Thanks, I Can't Buttons. Thanks, Valor. I know you were here today to 10 past 11. I appreciate you guys. Thanks everybody who came in. Thank you for Killer Mech for coming in. Maybe he'll be back next week. That is it for me this week. I appreciate everybody who was here. Go on over to the YouTube page if you want to watch videos. I take this stream and compress it into smaller little bite-sized bits for videos and shorts and stuff like that. So go on over to the YouTube, take a look at those, or watch the old ones, or you can watch all of this that you just saw unedited and uncut in the live section, or you go on over to the Discord or the Discorb or the Discrod. Leave links, leave memes, find fun things to talk about. Go there and argue with the people that are in the Discord. It's fun. Lots of political people over there giving their political opinions. And I'm in there. If you want to send me a message or anything like that, hit me up. And that is it for me today. I will be back on Wednesday night with all of the politics and stuff like that. Unless the brown shirts kick in my door and drag me off to the gulag. I will be back on Wednesday. So if I'm not here, that might have happened. But if I'm just sick or don't want to stream, I'll put it into the Discord. But if I'm not here, mysteriously, brown shirts kicked in my door, dragged me off to the gulag, to the re-education camp. And I'll see you there, I suppose. That's it for me today. I appreciate everybody. Thank you very much.